Hello, welcome back to the James Rambo. The James Rambo show. Right, so today I'm just gonna be covering the schedule and how these will go. When it will be published, when you'll be able to listen to them, and all of that sort of thing. So I've decided that every Saturday there's gonna be a new episode coming out. So so it'll be the 15th, the 22nd, the 29th, and continuing from there. You can also follow me on Getter, which is actually a great way to make this show get more traction and get more love by following me on Getter. Yeah, and also I've watched Predator last night. Predator is an absolute amazing film. I highly recommend it. I liked the second movie. I tried to watch the third movie and I didn't like it. And I've had this same experience with Aliens, and Alien 3, where I've enjoyed the first two and I hated the third one, or I just didn't like the third one. I also had this experience with The Matrix as well, because I did like Matrix, and Matrix 2 and 3 I didn't like. And this is just a common thing I've noticed when I watch a film, is that when I watch it, and I have watched a lot of films in my lifetime, if I'm being honest. So when I do that, I kind of just watch a film, and there's a film in that franchise that I don't like, because I've literally noticed that. So yeah, and I've also been starting to watch Alien vs Predator, which is an amazing movie so far. And yeah, I tried to do StreamYard. There's people who've done StreamYard before, and I tried it for the first time, but because of my internet and how bad it is with these things, okay, like it was impossible to even stream it. Like I had to make 5 of them and try and do it again. And I've seen other podcast hosts and stuff use that platform, and it's actually good for them. Probably because they have good internet. Probably because they have better internet than me. Because I just want to go on this tangent about like Trustpower, because Trustpower is a New Zealand internet service, and I don't like them because they say that this is fibre, but it clearly isn't. Like, are you joking me right now? Like, this is supposed to be this. You're literally telling me that this is fibre, and I can't even stream a podcast to it to people. Like, this is just nonsense, and yeah, absolute nonsense right here. Just goes to show that a company that says this is amazing, but it's actually not, right? So they're really full of garbage, right? They're actually talking like they don't know what they're talking about, right? They have no idea what they're just saying that because to get more people using their service. Anyways, enough of that rant. You know, yeah, Team TMS suggested I talked about Getter and Twitter. Now, I haven't really talked about Getter and Twitter. I know I promoted my Getter page late earlier in the show, but I'm definitely going to be like editing this up and showing you what the page looks like. Oh, by the way, it's actually called at James Ramblecast. At James Ramblecast. When you go in Getter, you make an account in Getter and you want to tune in and you want to know the updates, go to James Ramblecast at James Ramblecast, and there you'll find all of that information. But back to what I was going to say about Getter versus Twitter, and that whole why Getter is a better platform, it's a better usage, it's better than Twitter in my opinion, and I think people should actually use it more. And I'm not trying to make this opinion like my friend Liam wants me to. Like, I'm not trying to act like his opinion is objective, right? This is just a suggestion he had. But when it comes to Getter and when it comes to Twitter, right? So you have Twitter on this side and you have Getter on that side, right? I'm not trying to make this get political or anything, right? But you have Twitter, right, and then you have Getter. But okay, so to get into this point I'm talking about, Getter is a freedom of speech platform, right? So what I was doing was I was just messing around with my friends on it and just pretending to like hate the English, Irish, and Welsh because I'm actually Scottish, so it's just banter, you know. And so far, nothing has happened, right? Right. So, but if this was on Twitter, I would have probably got banned by now. But yeah, Getter is fun to just mess around on, and it's a much better platform. So yeah, definitely recommend Getter, and I think yeah I'm going to promote more stuff on that as well, like I keep saying. Um, yeah. So yeah, it's kind of how that. It's kind of just an update on things and how this show is gonna go and all that. Yeah. So after Alien vs Predator, I watched the second one and then I watched the Terminator films. Now to get onto Terminator, right? Let's just talk about that, right? So I have seen Terminator before. I seen Terminator Genesis, which was a 2015 film, right? There was that. I liked it when I watched it, but when I go back, I'll find out if I still like it. And the reason why I'm doing this is I've just been wanting to get. I just want to get into older films. So yeah, just to have some like to have some interest in films again. Cause I did like Spider-Man No Way Home, but I want to try and watch older films that I've maybe missed out on, and it gives me something to talk about on the podcast and everything. So yeah, and I'm gonna be stretching these out as well. Like I'm gonna stretch these episodes out so you can so it's like so it's like I have more to say and it's not doing it in 5 minutes and it's just a bunch. It's just constantly trying to get it finished off and everything. So it's going to be at least 20 minutes, I'm thinking 15 to 20 minutes, 20-30 minutes, just to make it a full on podcast that will it will strap you in. So yeah, we're currently on 8 minutes right now, so this is going to be the longest episode. This is episode 3 of the James Rambling Show right now. I'm trying to think what else to talk about here because I'm just trying to make things go off the top of my head because that's how a conversation is supposed to work. You're supposed to go off the top of your head and like bring up a topic, and then when you get to that topic, you just go from there and have a conversation, right? But in this case, it's not really a conversation, it's just a commentary, but it's still considered a podcast because I'm filming it and talking at the same time. Because I have had YouTube channels where I did actually do this sort of thing, but it wasn't a podcast, but it felt like one. So, yeah. I'm filming a podcast, Mom. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I was trying to film a podcast. Mum was there. Anyways, yeah, that's trying to make this longer. Trying to do this whole thing. So yeah. I'm trying to think elsewhere. So yeah, and StreamYard would have actually upped the quality as well, and it sucks that I couldn't even use it. Right, I've said that already, but it just sucks that I couldn't even use it, and it was really annoying. Like, I just wanted to use it. I really wanted to use it. Okay, it's sake. Like, come on. I don't think the people behind it are terrible. I just think with my experience, it just kept lagging. And as I said, I just didn't like. I went on a rant about my Wi-Fi service, which is they are just actually hypocrites. They say it's fiber, but it's really terrible. This happens with any um country. Really, this happens with any country. Also, oh yeah, I just realised that I also read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I've also I might actually show you this book, just to give me something else to talk about, so I'm not going on a regurgitation tangent. Okay, so this is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Basically, the whole premise of the book is an international. Oh wait, no, that's just like another thing of it. So it's an ordinary Thursday lunchtime for Arthur Dent until his house gets demolished. The Earth slowly falls afterwards. To make way for a new hyperspace express route, and his best friend, has just announced that he's an alien. At this moment, they are hurtling through space with nothing but their towels and an insidious-looking book inscribed with the big friendly words "Don't panic." Well, don't panic, sort of thing. The weekend has only just begun. Dazzling and intensive Caitlin Moran. By the way, I'm looking down because I'm trying to read this. With material from the Douglas Adams archives and forward by Russell T. Davies. Oh, Russell T. Davies, alright, okay. So I've actually wanted to be getting into Doctor Who. Russell T. Davies is a guy behind Doctor Who, and there was this whole speculation about how he's going to be coming back and how he's going to try and do this regenerations thing and all that kind of thing. And I've actually not spoke about Doctor Who on this podcast yet, but it's a good series, okay. So that is great, and I was just talking about this. This is an amazing book. I recommend this book to read this. If you wanna just turn your brain off and forget about the world and forget about Omicron and everything, I'd recommend this book. This is only the first volume. There's it's like a six volume book, I think. Really good. I've still not finished it. I need to finish that and maybe drop a little review in this or something like that. And there's also this comic book that I've been reading called I've just been taking my time with that, and I keep forgetting to read it more because I actually want to get into comic books more. So it's called Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Avengers, right? So it's just all about the Guardians of the Galaxy and all of that, but it has the Avengers in it as well, or it just has it has Iron Man in it, I think. Yeah. So as you can, if you're wondering why there's a ruler, because it's supposed to be like a bookmark, you can see Iron Man on the cover, and you can also see Star-Lord as well, and you can see Groot, and you can see Rocket, and you can see Gamora, and you can see Drax. So yeah, you can see that all. Fiction is amazing. Okay, this is great. I think they're great. Really good. Oh man, this has been going on for 14 minutes, and this is how it should go, because it is a podcast after all. So it needs to be longer than 5 minutes, because that's nothing. Like if you when you watch Joe Rogan or something like that, do you want to listen to 5 minutes? No, you'd rather want it to be a clip or like a highlight of the show itself. And yeah, there's also people who do 5-hour podcasts, which I'm not going to be doing, because a person sitting by themselves for 5 hours, right? when it's quite hard to talk that for that amount when you're in front of a camera, especially me, because I know I do ramble with my friends and stuff like that and go on tangents, but I cannot do 5 hours of this. That is too much. I know there's people who can do it, right? But here's the thing: they have 10 people on it, so it kind of makes sense if you think about it, because then they've at least got some hours to talk with them instead of it being one person doing it, because one person is at least an hour at most. There's podcasts that do an hour as well. It can be 3 minutes, but yeah, dude, that is actually way too short for a podcast, in my opinion. Oh, Jesus Christ, this is actually feeling like the show now. It's starting to become the Rambo Show, okay? It's turning into a podcast right here. It already was, but it's getting into that Rambo territory where I just talked about, the schedule, and then I talked about Twitter and Getter, and I talked about reading books and comic books. Yeah, this is kind of how this is running right now. So yeah, this is the longest episode you'll listen to so far. I'm not actually recording this on my phone. I'm recording this on my laptop. I'm using the camera feature, so it's because my phone has weird storage at times. So I'm just gonna be talking now. I'm gonna not try and make this way too long though, because it's gonna get boring eventually if I talk for this long. If I'm just rambling all the time. But yeah. Also, I do actually like games as well, so I've not really talked about games on this. I want to talk about games too. So there's games that I've played like Skyrim. I've actually played Cyberpunk. So we know about that. We know that Cyberpunk controversy about how it's buggy and all of that. Well, now it's updated, and I've not really played it that much now, but it's good. It's a good game for what it is. It's a good game. It's got a good story. Yeah. I might actually read the synopsis for that as well. So I'm gonna grab it out and just explain it, so I'm not just saying it without, it's gonna sound unclear and a bit vague if I just talk about it with it explaining the plot. So I'm gonna read it down because I'm looking at the back of the cover, the game, right? Cyberpunk 2077 is an open world action adventure story set in Night City, a megalopolis, whatever, obsessed with power, glamour, and body modification. So basically, when you start the game, you can make your own. You can customize the size of your legs and all that. So that's kind of how that runs. But anyways, you play as V, a mercenary outlaw going after a one-of-a-kind implant. That is the key to immortality. You can customize your character's cyberware. Yeah, I just said that. Skill set, play style, and explore a vast city. With the choices you make, shape the story and the world around you. So that's what Cyberpunk is about. That's the whole point of Cyberpunk. Oh yeah. Also, there's Guardians of the Galaxy. I know I talked a bit of comic about it, but there's also this game right here. So it's actually quite a good game. So yeah, it's fire up a wild ride across the cosmos with a fresh take on Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. In this action adventure game, you are Star-Lord, leading the unpredictable Guardians from one explosion of chaos to the next. So yeah. But it's not actually, when you play the game, it doesn't sound like the people who are in the film. So Chris Pratt isn't in that. Oh, by the way, Chris Pratt is rumoured to be in a Mario film and a Garfield film, and he's going to voice act him. That's old news, but just because I was on that because I was on that topic, I thought I'd bring it up, Jesus Christ, this podcast is almost 20 minutes long already. This is it. Yeah, I'm rambling a lot today, right? This is kind of what I do anyway. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some other games that I've played. Oh, Halo Infinite, by the way. Yeah, I liked I've played it, but I couldn't really play it that much because I had to do, there was some other stuff that I was doing. So yeah, that's Halo Infinite right there. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have much of a synopsis behind it. In that one, I didn't notice it. Oh, there was actually posters that I got with Cyberpunk 2077, which are quite cool. I think the aesthetic for that game is amazing. Like, if you want to talk about aesthetic, like, look at that. Just actually look at that. Yeah. Once I run out of things to talk about, I'm just going to end the show now. I think that's what I'm going to do. So if I end up, not stop, running out of ideas of what to talk about here, I will just stop the show. Right. By the way, I'm just doing this just to see what games I have. Yeah, because my games are actually behind me, so I was trying to think of some games to talk about there. Oh wait, I actually just remembered that I have this Funko Pop collection. So basically, the Funko Pop collection is derived from, like, I'm just gonna look up because they're like high. They're on this shelf I have. So I've got Rocket, Zombie Mobius. By the way, I actually cannot wait for that film. Right? Oh, that's amazing. Carnage from like the Venom Let There Be Carnage. Right? There's people who say that film is bad and everything, but I actually enjoyed it. Iron Man Marvel's Avengers. So that Marvel's Avengers game is dude, I wasted $100 on pre-ordering that. I'm not even joking with you. Okay, so I've got Marvel 80 Years of Spider-Man or whatever. Yeah, that was right. And then I've got Lord of the Rings, Funko Pops, Majin Buu, Saitama, Vegeta, Super Saiyan, Goku or whatever. And then I've got Yu Yu Hakusho and Son of the Dragon Ball. But I'm not going to talk about the Lord of the Rings show, okay? But the Lord of the Rings is an amazing film franchise, and I actually recommend it, right? I think that film is amazing, just like the way how compelling it was and how inspirational it was to fantasy in general, that, I mean, like those kind of stories, I guess, could have actually inspired Skyrim, because I noticed Skyrim has all these, like, you travel with mates and stuff like that. You do have those points where you travel with people and you have to take out enemies, and in Lord of the Rings there is the hobbits where they just go on these adventures and they take out the orcs and everything. So it's kind of inspired, but it's not exactly like it because the whole point is to destroy the ring. But in Skyrim, you don't destroy a ring, you just go on quests. But fantasy is known for having quests in it. Oh yeah, anime. Yes, I have anime as well. Anime, pop figures. Yeah, I like anime. I've talked about that on a channel before, but yeah, I haven't really been able to watch a lot of it. So like, yeah, because I've been getting into, because I've actually been getting into like Korean movies and stuff as well. I watched Old Boy twice, like a few days ago. Like I watched it again after a while, and I must say it's probably one of the best revenge stories I've ever watched, ever like seen. Like, if you don't know what that is, it's basically like just this guy who goes like this guy just is he tries to get revenge on people and he doesn't know why he's in jail for like 13 years, and it gets depressing at times, but the action is amazing. Like, he grabs this hammer and he just like takes this guy's teeth out with it. Oh man, it is actually great. It's a great film. And also, obviously, there's Squid Game, and then I found out about how the old man in Squid Game won an award, like the first Korean guy to win a Golden Globe or something like that. Like, that was just amazing. Like, I don't really care about the Golden Globes that much. Like, as somebody who likes movies and all that, I don't actually care about the Oscars that much. If I'm being honest, like, the Oscars and Golden Globes do not mean anything to me. I mean, it's good to see Parasite winning for once, right? But I just like they should be winning more because they are great films. They kind of deserve it. Jesus, this is 25 minutes long now. Okay. So yeah, this has actually been a proper podcast right now because it's really long right now. I might just have to end it here because this is actually way too long now. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We're going to be continuing this show every Saturday now, so tune in every Saturday. And until then, I will not see you. And yeah, I hope you don't bye, bye, and yeah, try to listen through this whole thing because there are podcasts where they have, I mean, you should be able to listen to this, okay? Because Joe Rogan, we know Joe Rogan has like these long shows, right? There are people who make these 5 hour long things. Like I said, but bye, I just freaking rambled right there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is why the show exists now, because I just keep rambling on.